Hi guys, I'm ExactChaos and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. We are going to play Frostpunk. So Frostpunk just recently dropped on Steam and I must say it's gorgeous. I've had a bit of a play in it just to make sure I know all the mechanics before I start getting into a Let's Play. It's a little bit unusual, but I thought this might get tricky if I don't at least know how to do it. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to do a new home. Which is the first scenario. Once we survived in that one long enough, we can move on to some of the others. But for now, let's see what this is all about. Customize the scenario. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave everything the way it is. And we are gonna start. Patients require twice as fast in an infirmary as they do in a medical post. Something to bear in mind. I like load screens with a little bit of tips and tricks in there. Some buildings, such as the infirmary, have better insulation and are warmer. Yes, okay. So some of our buildings cold, some of them a little warmer. Okay, so it is loading. Okay.
We roam the still, cold world. No horizon in sight. The rulers of old, stripped pride and glory. It feels as yesterday we were turning the wheels of progress. Until the frost stopped it all. Suddenly, without a warning. When tides had changed, they changed for all of us, no matter wealth or class. We've lost our world to snow, and with it, our last traces of humanity. We bid farewell to plenty. And for those who remained, came the time to adapt. We decided to leave our homes and head north. We roamed for weeks, maybe months, leaving behind all the things we once believed had made us. It was hope that pushed us forward. Slowly, step by step, we knew the cost of our journey, and we paid the price 100 times. Finally, the time has come to build the last city on Earth.
Okay, quite a dramatic cutscene. Okay, a new home. We fled from London and crossed the sea to reach the frozen north. On the way, our convoy was hit by a blizzard and scattered. A handful of us managed to reach the site of this generator, only to find it frozen solid and abandoned. Why is no one here? Did any of our people survive the blizzard? Are there any others out there? Whatever we do, we should expect the worst, now that the world as we know it has crumbled. Okay, we have to survive. Okay, so here we go. The graphics are just exquisite. I absolutely love it. So here's our world. Fight the cold. We need the generator to get working, so we need to stockpile some wood. Okay, so let me pause the game and I'll quickly show you a little bit. So if we zoom in, look at the detail. Here are all our people hanging out next to the generator, and there are some resources around. So in terms of the game, you can see it's 20 below. Our resources are coal, wood, steel, and steam cores. This is the days and any effects that the days may have. Raw food and food rations. Okay. Around the site we've got stuff like wooden crates, steel wreckage, wooden crates, coal piles, a coal deposit, and so on and so on. If we zoom out, we can't actually zoom out. This is the absolute edge. And I believe I can't quite see if this is ice or what that is, but anyway, this is our map. That's another coal deposit over there. Okay, this is our map. So first things first, this is showing us we've got 80 homeless people. Our first mission is to stockpile 200 coal and activate the generator. So first things first, let's get some people out there to do things. In this game, what you do is you have to assign workers from your component of people. So we've got unemployed people, all of them at the moment. Okay, so we've got standard workers, we've got engineers, and then we've got children. Workers are just workers, they can do most things. Engineers are more advanced workers, so there are certain tasks that only engineers can do, and then children are children. Okay, what we have is we've got the ability to build things around here, and we've got discontent to deal with and hope to deal with, and then we'll also get to some of the other mechanics of the game as we get there. Let's get started. Let's grab some coal. So I'm going to put some maximum workers on getting coal. Wood, I need wood, so let's grab maximum workers to come and get wood over here. And then I'm kind of thinking maybe steel wreckage as well. So we'll put maximum workers on steel wreckage also. And then at the same time I'll put some of these guys on there to go and get some more coal over there. So that should put everybody to work. Oh, I've got 5 more engineers that's not working. So let's get them to go to this pile over here. So we'll do all of that. So let's get started. So we immediately start to see the coal jumping up because of everywhere we're going. Obviously the guys haven't actually got there yet, but we're getting that going. Excellent. So what's happening over here? Okay, so here you go. Immediately what happens is now you can start seeing the other parts. So it's not just the standard city builder and survival game. What you do see is you see the societal stuff that we have to deal with over here. A word of advice, workers needers. There's so much to do and not enough hands to do it. A quick way of addressing this problem is to put our children to work. Open the book of laws. So here we can see we can immediately sign. So here's laws, right? We can sign laws into being. Okay, so under our laws, and there's some other stuff that comes around later, there's some laws about our food, laws about how we treat people that are injured or sick, laws about how we treat the dead, laws about how we treat children, laws about working, and laws about entertainment, which is kind of what's happening around here. So first things first, if we put children in, so we can say child labor for safe jobs. There aren't enough hands. So we'll allow children to be employed in safe workplaces like cookhouses or hothouses and so on. And I think that is a pretty good idea for us to employ child labor, at least at the safe stuff. There's no schools, so what are they doing? Hanging out doing nothing. No, they have to earn their keep, so it looks pretty brutal. But so in our little city, children will be allowed to work. So we sign that into being. That immediately drops hope because now children have to work. So I'll add the children to there. Okay, so children will add to that. What I'll also do is some more wooden crates over here. I'll get what I'll do is I'll come over here and we'll take out 5 of these guys and we'll put the 5 children in there, and we'll put that over there. For some reason I don't think it's good to have the children working something alone. Okay, now we've got a fair bit of coal, so let's start the generator. Can I? Okay, there we go. Let's switch on the generator. Okay, and now I'll show you what this game is all about. So now this generates power for our buildings, I believe, but it also generates heat. And to be honest, I think the more important component of it is the heat piece. Okay, so if I go here, I'll show you. Now, in this radial city, you can see the heat pattern. So this is comfortable right here. It's livable right next to it. And then you can see it starts to get chilly all the way around. But we don't have buildings. The buildings will show that much clearer. So we've got the generator switched on, and we're stockpiling the coal fairly quickly. There, we've got it. We've got it in there. How are we going on wood? Our wood is doing its thing. Now, food. The generator hums with reassuring warmth, but we shouldn't take it for granted. If the generator goes down, the city dies. Be mindful of coal reserves. Now, food. There'll be no city if they starve to death. Secure a way to provide raw food and build a cookhouse to prepare meals. So let's do that. Let's go for food. We'll build a cookhouse. What is the cookhouse's heat level? Level 1. Yeah, so in order for people to work in the cookhouse and be comfortable, they kind of need to... Okay, so let's plop the cookhouse right over there. Okay, so we'll start building the cookhouse straight away. Okay. Oops. Yeah, so get the cookhouse going. Oh, and then of course what we also need, so the cookhouse, what the cookhouse will do is it'll turn the raw food into food rations. So I also, on the other hand, need to go out and grab some more food. So what we'll do is we'll build a hunter's, what is this? A hunter's hut, and these guys go out at night to get go and hunt. But what you can see here, base heating is 2. So before I build it, let me show you. So now you can see this guy is at a comfortable temperature. It's got base heating level 1 in the first ring. So out there you can see that's not as. So if we get 2 levels of heating, we'll still have some good heat outside of it. So, and we need to be mindful that some things need heat, some does not. Okay, so I'll build that one out there, and then what we're going to need is we're going to build a roadway, because all of these things needs roads. So what we'll do is we'll just extend that a little bit so we know this is one of our main roads. But what you can see is you start to interestingly start seeing this this radial building pattern that we see over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce our coal intake a little, and I'm going to increase our wood intake, because we're going to want to build some stuff fairly quickly. Okay, if we look at the construction stuff, yeah, I'm not going to go through all of these things. I kind of know what's going on, and I'll just kind of explain to you as we go through it. So I'm going to drop the production of coal a little bit. We're already working 2 piles of coal, and so that we can work a little bit more on the wood stuff, so that we can get some construction up and running. So there's the book of laws, and there's a cooldown. So at the end of the cooldown I can pass another law, and then there's construction that we do at the moment. So secure raw food supply, build a hunter's hut or a hothouse, and build a cookhouse and start preparing meals. So both of those tasks are underway, but I am wondering whether we are actually building that already. So maybe what I should do is I should remove these workers so they can start building these things, because we did add all of these guys over there. I think that should be okay. We're collecting this. These things don't last very long, so if I look at that, there's still 329 coal over here, and we're collecting at a rate of 18 coal per hour. This one, same thing, 18 coal per hour is what we're collecting over there. Here is only 6 wood per hour. Oh, that's the end of the day. So as you can see, people only work until 6 o'clock in the evening. So I think they work from 8 until 6, and that's kind of what happens. If we look at the top here at the calendar, what we can see is it's day 1, almost going to day 2. But at the end of somewhere in day 4, we're going to have a reduction in temperature. Okay, so here's some other issues that's coming up. No roof over our heads. Captain, people are understandably concerned about the lack of shelter. They are falling ill from sleeping outside in this terrible cold. We'd better do something about it. Okay, so now you've got something you can effectively say you'll have 2 days to provide shelter for 40 people, so I'll provide some shelter, or you'll have 2 days to provide shelter for all 80 people, or I won't address this issue right now. And these have effects on your people's hope and discontent. So what I'm going to do, I think it's very important to get housing done, because we don't want sick people, because that causes all kinds of other problems. So let's say we'll provide all the shelter we need, and we need to put that in the first ring. So let's go to people. We need some tents for the people. So I will start by putting in this ring over here 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can do all of them, but then we're going to start seeing a little bit of problems. So well, we can only build up to that many more. So let's start building that. We need more wood to build more tents. But yeah, I think this is important for us to get built. Doing the whole ring, yeah, we might need some other buildings in there also at some point. Okay, so all of them are being built, because there seems to be a bit of in the free time you can actually still build. Okay, what's going on here? A word of advice: the wisdom of the crowd, Captain. When facing demands, remember this: people usually look for the quickest solution, not the best one. You don't have to agree to everything they'll ask for. If you fix problem your way, it's fine. Okay, it's just giving you a bit of advice on how to deal with the kind of stuff we see over here. I immediately want to maybe reduce our coal collection a little bit. Okay, and what I'll do is I will add people from our convoy. The basic resources secured for now. We can try and rescue the people we left behind. Build a beacon, scout Frostland, and save as many survivors from our expeditions as possible. You'll need a workshop to design plans for more advanced buildings. That's fine. I just want us to make sure we grab a few people to start collecting some food rations. Over here I want to get the children working on preparing the meals. So let's reduce 5 children over here, and actually don't necessarily need all of them in there, but we'll do that nonetheless. So we're starting to see some tents pop up. Okay, over here they're still building over there. Okay, so these guys I believe have gone out to hunt, so we'll see some food coming in. Okay, another one over there, and another over in here. So we're gonna need to get some more wood so that we can build some more shelter. So there's still 20 people that's gonna be out in the cold tonight. But I'm grateful we've made a good start. Let's keep speeding things on a little. This the speed bar kind of drops down very quickly. So those are our hunters, I think, going out at night. So the hunters is different than the other jobs. They actually go out at night. And okay, illness and healthcare. So I think, yeah, we've got our first 3 sick people. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to build a medical post, but we don't have the wood to deal with it. I can introduce a new law. So let's see, what do we need? There's a few things we could do. At the moment we need to collect a little bit faster, so we can introduce the emergency shift to get more wood more quickly. I don't think we need that just yet, because that has a massive impact. Okay, so it says new ability: you can force workers in the facility to work for the next 24 hours. Using the emergency shift will raise discontent. Discontent will rise slightly. So I'm not too sure we want to be doing this, but the emergency shift is still fairly useful. What else can we do? We can have treatment. How do we treat people? So radical treatment is effectively, say, the gravely ill will be treated in medical posts. Hope will rise slightly. We'll try everything to cure the gravely ill, from invasive surgery to amputation. Okay, that just means that 30% of gravely ill treated in medical posts will be left as amputees. Discontent will rise slightly. The other option is sustain life. The gravely ill will be kept alive but untreated in medical posts. Hope will rise slightly. Discontent will rise slightly. The gravely ill will not be treated and remain a burden. The gravely ill will take up beds in the medical post. So that, in my mind, we can't afford that. We haven't had anybody die yet, so how we deal with dead people is not a big deal. So in my mind, I'm either going to go towards this. So this is soup or food additives. So this is basically, we can cook soup instead of full meals to feed more people with the same amount of raw food. So the new recipe soup is available. Hope will fall, discontent will rise, and eating soup will cause discontent. So not too good. This will add sawdust meal. Hope will fall slightly, discontent will rise slightly, and some people eating sawdust meals will fall ill. Man, I'm worried about our food a little bit. Food is going to be a big thing for us, so I'm a little bit worried about our food. Alternatively, I can go towards the emergency ship. Maybe what I'll do is let me add food additives, because if I look at this is slightly. Hope will fall slightly, discontent will rise slightly, and people may fall ill. Over here, same thing, but people that eat soup will cause discontent, and I don't like that piece of it. I'd rather deal with a few more ill people. Maybe we don't need to sign this into law just yet. What we could do is actually sign the emergency shift into being. New ability. Using the emergency shift will raise discontent. Discontent will rise slightly. So let's sign the emergency shift, but we don't necessarily going to use it. Let's sign it just so that we have it to our exposal. So that did rise it in. It's a controversial law, and we lack shelter. So people are not happy. Preposterous! Are you trying to work us to death? I hope these shifts are only used for real emergencies. Exactly. So it's ready there if we do need it for real emergencies. Okay, our guys are out hunting somewhere. I can't even see where they are, but they've gone out hunting, so they should bring in. Get a move on, chaps. There's still plenty of work to do. It's the middle of the night. Oh no, they're just starting to get up. We can keep going like this for a while, I'd say. Okay, so people are happy that we're kind of dealing with their issues for now. Okay, day-night cycle, that's fine. I'm not going to read through all of these things. Yes, buildings have abilities, that's fine. So, and I'll show you that ability now. So now I've got buildings. So if I go to the cookhouse, I can say, click there and say emergency shift. So then we can switch on the emergency shift. So for 2 days, people will work day and night over here to get things done. For now, people need to go back to work so that we can get a more sustained source of wood. What I'm going to do, we still have 2 days before it cools down a fair bit. So what I'll do we need all of this coal to be produced per hour? I don't think so. So what I'll do is I'll pull off the engineers off of that one. I'll add more people.
Get to work. Move, people. There's plenty to do.
Add the engineers here, and I'll add a bit more engineers over there so that we can get a better supply of this. Actually, we may need them to build. Okay, but we need to get a medical bay built fairly quickly. Did we get some food? Not sure how much food we did get. 40 per hour is the rations that we're creating over here with these 5 kids working there, so that's kind of okay. So at 25 wood, what we should do now is get that medical post built right over there, and you can see we're going to start having run out of space. So let us indeed build the medical post over there. Some people that's gonna start building it, I think. 2 out of 10. I've got everybody working elsewhere though. Okay, and I still need to build 2 more tents, but what I'm a little bit worried about is that we're gonna have to start going into the second row over here. Okay, let's grab a bit of this. Yeah. Let's see. We'll build some more tents. Oh, we can actually build more tents once. Let's get the medical up and going. Before people get even sicker, I think we need to get more tents. So I'm gonna actually go for the second row. which is not the greatest. What I'll do is I'll reduce these guys to get these engineers to start building this a bit more. I think we are kind of okay with all the resources getting in. Food is okay. I want to up these to 15. We need to get more people to collect food. Yes, and again with the speed. I want to make sure that we play on that little bit quicker speed. Steel wreckage is depleted, so we've got one steel wreckage down. So I'm going to want to move them to the next one. Oh, there's an issue. Child injured at work. A child got distracted at work and has been injured. The accident was not serious and happened entirely due to the child's carelessness. So what do I do now? This child won't work for 24 hours. Hope will rise slightly. Scold this kid for being careless. Hope will fall slightly. Now what I'll do is I will give the kid the day off because it is just a kid. Okay. And now I need to move workers. Actually, let me get 5 more workers in there and then we'll max out. Ooh, actually, I want to drop this by 5 so that we have engineers ready still working on this. What we can do is we'll drop out the kids over there and add them to the steel pile over here. Requires at least 1 worker. Could not resume production with requires raw food. Yes, fair enough. So now we've got 200 rations, which is pretty good. I'm not sure how quickly we go through that. So over here, what we can have a look at the economy tab, and it kind of says how quickly we're gaining things and how quickly we're losing it. So at the moment, we're gaining 180 coal a day and we're using 144. So we've got a slight surplus that's starting to happen. There's still some coal piles we can deal with. In terms of food, our food gain is plus 15 per day due to the raw food gain. Is there a ration piece over there though? Food storage. We're not saying how much ration, so we'll get 15 raw food per day. And that turns into rations at what kind of rate? I'll have a look at that now. Health status, we've got some sick people. We've got some housing issues, and over here what I wanted to have a look at is these are just some other resources. So we're gaining 40 steel per day, we're gaining 116 wood per day, but we're not actually anything on food over here. So over there, how much is this? 4 food rations from 2 raw food. So yeah, it's very minimal, so that gives us about 30 food a day, but it's not saying how much is our consumption of food. Go over here, our food consumption is 80 per day, so we're nowhere close to that. So food is a big deal for us. I think the next law will have to be the sawdust thing so that we can sort that out, and let's just get stuff done a little bit quicker. Okay, so now that thing's in place, I'm gonna put 2 engineers on the job in the medical facility. Shelter promise is fulfilled and the hope rises. Everybody has got shelter, even though it is fairly cool out here. So they're all comfortable at the moment, but now it's livable. Okay, so the second ring is not a big deal. These guys will go out now and they will collect some more food for us. So we get 15 a day and we turn that into 30 meals. So yeah, certainly we're in big trouble when it gets to that. We are going to need much more food. So if I go here, so now that I can add a new law, let's have a look. So soup does what exactly? We can cook soup instead of full meals, feed more people with the same amount of raw food, but I don't know how much though. How much more? Over here we can add sawdust to meals to make them more filling, although not exactly tasty or healthy. After introducing the law, okay, I think I'm going to go for this one. We just need to be able to do more food stuff.
Hear me.
Wow, look at that discontent. No, and the controversial law drops the hope a little bit. Okay, so now if we say sawdust meal, 6 cookhouse will produce 6 food rations from 2 raw food. This is the one for us. This is the one for us. There's no raw meals, so at the moment it's okay. These guys are okay. Shouldn't get more sick people working out over here. Let me add an extra engineer to that so that we just get that working a little bit quicker. Nice, and we're seeing a steady rise of our resources over here, so that's going to be good. But guys, this seems like a good spot to put a cut in this video, so I will do that. If you've liked this new series, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you do like it, and yeah, share it around, see who else wouldn't mind this. We're going to get into many more controversial things on this game. I can just feel it. And yes, and I would like you to weigh in the comments as we do. Tell me what you think about the laws we've passed already. Any of the other laws that you spotted there that you think we should go into a certain direction. And yeah, let me know what you think. As this is a new series, I would very much appreciate you hitting that like button. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.